If you get a brand new 5-star Google review on Google, that's great. Everyone on Google is going to see that. Take that review and post it to like a reviews page on your website. Post it to your LinkedIn page. Post it to your Facebook page. Post it on Instagram. Get that review or that quality reputation that you have visible on as many platforms as possible. That way you're going to reach a much larger audience. So now you've got a good reputation, and now you're marketing that reputation to drive more potential customers your way.
Welcome to the Painter Growth Podcast, where we help you scale your painting company in record time. Join us as we explore sales, marketing, hiring, finances, leadership, and more, everything that you need to know to scale and grow your painting business. I hope you enjoy and subscribe. What's up, everyone? Mike Hickman here, founder of paintergrowth.com, and you're listening to the Painter Growth Podcast. Really excited for this episode. I am joined by Mr. Tanner Smith, who leads the onboarding team at NiceJob. And I'm just stoked to get into this, man. I love what NiceJob is doing and stoked to chat with you about whatever we get into.
Right back at you. Thanks for having me. I'm super pumped up.
So just really quick elevator pitch. What is NiceJob for the people who don't know?
It's a growth platform to kind of put on autopilot, getting more reviews so you rank higher, showcasing your reviews, social media, your website, driving more visitors to you on both of those platforms, getting more referral business, repeat business, just all the things that most business owners don't really have time to do. Let's just put it on autopilot so it takes care of itself.
Okay, I love it. So let's just rewind the clock a little bit to the origin story of NiceJob. How did it get started? Like, who started it? Why did they start it? What's their story? Just like let's start there.
I'll try to do the condensed version. They can.
We got time. We can do the expanded version.
Okay. So the founder was into marketing, had a lot of really big clients working for a company. They had the NFL, some Coca-Cola, I think, and some other really big clients. Something that it came from a really small town background, family on the farm, and something that kind of always bothered him, for lack of a better term, is in marketing back in the day, it was basically whoever could spend the most money was going to win. It really didn't matter too much the quality of your product, the quality of the service, how much you cared about your customers, and how well the job you did. It was just, can I put my face on more park benches and more commercials, then I'm going to win. And so that was something that kind of always bothered him. So as he saw the market evolving the way people shop, it became less about what the company says about themselves and more about what do your customers say about you. And seeing the influencer market and how reviews were also starting to impact companies. So he said, I want to do something different to kind of help the small businesses that actually provide a better service. I want them to win because they deserve to win. And the customers deserve them to win because that's who they should be hiring. So he kind of started the software to just automate the process of asking customers for reviews, and actually started his own window washing company to test it. Kind of figured what's the simplest business that no one would ever think about, and I'll test it with that and then see where it goes. And it just really took off. Getting reviews is just the baseline, or the kind of the heartbeat for your online ranking now. Google recognizes that. A lot of platforms recognize that. So that's where it started, and it's just kind of snowballed to where it is today.
Okay, and what's his name?
Lars.
Okay, and he didn't start in software, right? You said he started in service.
Yeah, and marketing. But again, he saw that software was kind of the future, because for most small business owners, you're really focused on your business. So it's doing your work. Like when you talk to any painter, which we talk to a lot of them every single week, their knowledge base or their passion is really more about painting. It's not about, I use this software to handle X, Y, or Z. Or on my computer, I do A, B, and C. They know about the tools that they're using, the paints, all of those different things. So he recognized that's true about most small business owners. They've got their wheelhouse, and then all the admin work that sometimes can be very, very small, but if you do it consistently, can have a huge impact on your business. Those are the things that are getting left behind. And that's what keeps a small business kind of stuck being small and not really being able to grow in their market. So how can I find those little teeny tiny things and help automate them for a small business owner, so that way they'll grow and get the reputation online and get the reputation in their local market that they deserve, but without having to actually do the manual labor to get there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And you said that he did a window cleaning business previously too, right?
Yeah, so he started his own window cleaning business, got other window cleaning businesses to test it out, and that was kind of the training ground. I think the way he put it is, I wanted to find like the least sexy business that I could, because if it works on that, it'll work for everything.
Okay, very cool. So he ran his own window cleaning business, decided to get into software and automate the whole review getting side of things, right? So,
Bingo.
I mean, what are you seeing are like the typical like issues that most contractors are having, with reputation management?
One side of it is just not really understanding it. Um, as a small business owner, generally you think, well, if I do a really good job for my customer, they're gonna tell their friends and family about me. I'm gonna become known in the community, and that's kind of how it always was in small business. You go back thousands of years, and you would just be known as the shoemaker or the blacksmith or this or that, and you just be known as doing really quality work. But over the last 10 years or so, there's just been a major shift in the way people shop. People don't ask their neighbors anymore, hey, do you know a guy? Do you got a guy for this? They just go online and they do a Google search. Best XYZ, best painter near me, best window washer near me. So that's really where the shift has taken place. As previously, in the good old days, so to speak, if you just did good quality work and treated your customers well, they're going to tell others about you, and you're going to get more work. Now everything has just gone online. No one talks to each other anymore like they used to. We all just look online. We go on Facebook. We go on Google. So for a lot of small business owners, it's just understanding that world and how important it is, and just that things are different from how we used to do things, or if it's a generational business, how my parents or grandparents ran that business. And so having an online reputation is new for some business owners, and it's also difficult to understand the impact, because now all softwares are running off of AI and algorithms. And how do these small little details, like having more Google reviews than your competitor, how does that impact my search ranking? So if someone says best painter near me on Google, how do I get myself at the top of that list? What are those small things that I can do? It's just, generally speaking, for most business owners, that's not their wheelhouse. You're a professional painter. That's what I do. That's what I know. Not really the online Google guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, what I guess to really simplify it for people who aren't like don't spend all day online, who are busy painting houses. What does reputation management even mean?
Okay. And just to kind of say it as well, that's where a painter should be spending their time is painting houses. That's your expertise. That's where you're going to get the best bang for your buck. It's trying to automate the rest. So your online reputation or reputation marketing are two separate things. One thing is to have a good reputation, but if nobody knows that, or if very few people know that, it's not going to be something that brings you more revenue. So there's really the two sides to that. Is number one, how can I improve my online reputation? Which means people are talking about me on Facebook, on Instagram, in my Google reviews, on LinkedIn, wherever the forums that your customers are most likely visiting, and they're saying good things about me. But then how can I amplify that voice? So a simple example that we always recommend is, if you get a brand new 5-star Google review on Google, that's great. Everyone on Google is going to see that. Take that review and post it to like a reviews page on your website. Post it to your LinkedIn page. Post it to your Facebook page. Post it on Instagram. Get that review or that quality reputation that you have visible on as many platforms as possible. That way you're going to reach a much larger audience. So now you've got a good reputation, and now you're marketing that reputation to drive more potential customers your way.
Yeah. Do you recommend like every review that people are getting to be cross-posting them across multiple platforms?
If it's a good review, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a good reason for that. It's good for, to use a canned term, SEO. We don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but just to get yourself more visible on more platforms is going to be helpful. More clicks, more looks, more likes. But then also, the real key that I think every business owner needs to understand is the way people shop is different. So if I'm looking for a painter, there's probably one of two things happening. That's competition. There's other painters in my area. So how can I differentiate myself from the other painters? The other thing is, I could have my wife saying, well, you could do that yourself. Or I could be thinking, well, I could do that myself. and save the money. So what is going to be something that I'm going to see that speaks to me and says, no, I'm going to go ahead and hire Mike's Painting because it's going to provide this benefit for me. So when you have more reviews visible in more places, I could be thinking in my mind as a potential consumer, well, I don't know if I'm going to have time for this. It seems like a big project. And so when I can start reading reviews, which is probably, I imagine, like you've booked a hotel or a restaurant or bought something on Amazon, and probably the first thing you do is you start looking at the reviews and you scroll down. And you're going to see a review that kind of speaks to your specific scenario. And it's so much more powerful when you're letting your customers do the talking and do the selling for you. That way, if I'm worried about maybe my tight time schedule and I see a review that this would have taken me a month and they did it in 2 days and it turned out even better than if I could have done, I'm going to say, wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going with Mike's Painting crew. So
Yep.
that's kind of the key. Get those reviews visible everywhere, because people are, we don't even hear when business owners speak about themselves, because every website of a business owner says we're the best in town. Number one, we don't even see that anymore. We don't hear that anymore. We want to hear the voice of the actual customer, because that's why we look at reviews on Amazon or when we're looking for a hotel or a restaurant or anything like that. That's what we care about.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's social proof, right? What we call it. So we have there, as you kind of described the two, we have your online reputation, but then you have reputation management, right? So how would you separate the two?
So having a reputation is just what happens as a result of managing it. So if you're a business owner, for example, and you're not actively inviting customers to leave you a review, you're probably getting very few, if any. I've spoken to business owners that have been years in business for 10 plus years, and they'll have 8 Google reviews. And I know you've done way more than 8 jobs over the last 10 years. What happened? Well, your online reputation is just limited. It's just weak because you're not managing it. You're not doing anything to increase it. So it's being very, very active. I always recommend, when you finish a job and you do the final walkthrough, everything looks great. They love it. They're amazed. Thank you so much. Saying something along the lines of, hey, Mr. Customer, I'm so glad that you love the job. Hopefully I earned a 5-star review from you. That's super important. We like to not only do a good job, but earn that 5-star review from you. If you don't mind leaving a review, that'd be great. I'll actually shoot you a link here by text message to make it nice and easy for you. So you're prepping the customer, but that's part of the management aspect, is being proactive. Everyone's busy. Customers are busy. They've got to go pick up the kids from school. They got to go grocery shopping. They got a million things going on. If you just mention it to them, they're going to tell you, yeah, I'd love to leave you a review. And then out of sight, out of mind. So it's following up, actively managing it to make sure that they're leaving a review if they don't follow up with them, and then just really owning that aspect of gaining a good reputation, and that allows you to then market it.
Yeah, one of the recommends that we do for our clients is that either you're the owner or whoever's closing up the job, as you're collecting the final payment, you just simply make the ask right there, and then you make an incentive, and the incentive can either be a discount on the job or bonusing your team. It's like, hey, if you give us a 5-star review, we'll actually bonus our employees $20 each. So it's like that you're not paying for the review, but they still are doing something kind for the business, so that for the painter. So hey, if you'll give us a review right now and you got to watch them do it, we're going to bonus our painters $20 each. And they're like, oh, that's
I love that. Yeah, I love that. We actually have what we call a leaderboard, where you can kind of see what employees are getting, what reviews, their average star rating, how many they're getting. Because
cool.
I think you touched on a really important point for every business owner, but for painters, because it's such a visual job that you're doing, is giving your employees, your technicians, your crew managers, whatever, almost like stock in the business, a sense of ownership. And they know that review is about me. I did that amazing job. It makes them feel better going to the next one. And hey, I'm getting, especially if you're getting a little bonus for it, even better. And customers love giving a tip. So yep. This takes that financial responsibility. They don't have to actually give the money, but they can still give the tip. So they're more likely to do it. So absolutely love that.
Exactly. Or if you can empower your painter, your crew lead, to do that, hey, our owner's going to give us a tip if you give us a review. And so then they get the review. And then it sounds like NiceJob has a scoreboard. So why don't we go that? Like, how does NiceJob as a product empower a business owner to get more reviews and have a better online presence?
I've used the term already more than once, probably automation. I've spoken to business owners who have attempted to do this manually all themselves, And it's, well, after the job, I'm going to talk to the customer, try to get that review then and there. But if I don't, I'm going to send them a text message. Well, then usually you're rushing to your next job. You're trying to get home. Are you genuinely going to take the time to send that text message? And then if they haven't left your reviews 2 days later, are you going to genuinely take the time to look up on your Google profile and say, did John leave me a review or not? If not, let me type him a quick email. And then do that again, and then do that again. It's just manual work that your time is better spent running the business, making sure the jobs are getting done, making sure your customers are happy, because that's something you can automate. And so I really recommend try automating everything you can. That's just repetitive manual tasks. That's just one less thing to think about. It runs while you're on vacation. It runs overnight. It just goes 24/7. And there's usually very, very little, if any, cost involved. And it scales with your business. Because if I'm only doing 2 jobs a week, that's pretty easy. But what if you're doing 10, 15, and you've got 3 crews running? Then exponentially, you're just increasing the amount of manual work that you don't have. And hiring somebody to do that then becomes incredibly expensive. Just automate it. So that's really what our platform is designed to do. The job's done, customer's happy, just automate that text message, 1 click, the customer's into Google and they're done. Then we'll automatically check a few days later. Has this customer left us a review? Not? If not, let's follow up with them. A quick, nicely worded email. Then a few days later, let's follow up with again. Just those little nice nudges. And what we found is, because usually the first thing that someone says is, well, I don't want to bother the customer. Your customers want to leave you a review. They're happy to do that. They're really grateful for the service you provided. The key is you got to catch them at the right time, which usually requires more than 1 follow-up, and you got to make it easy. Just saying, please leave us a review, and then they have to Google search you and find where to do it is not going to cut it. They're going to be busy doing something else. So find that right time, make it easy, and just automate the entire process.
Okay. Now, so what if we have a business and we have really great crew leads and they are good at getting Google reviews from every job, right? What are some of the other, features that NiceJob is able to support with in terms of like the overall holistic management of that?
Yeah. So if you've got that, you're kind of at the holy grail to begin with. You got a great foundation that you're starting off of. So what the system would do is it would be able to capture, like, for those that slip through the cracks, let's automatically follow up with them to get the review. Then let's now go from not just having a review or managing that review to now marketing it. And again, let's try to automate that as much as possible. So we can set it up to where every new review that you get that meets the star rating you like. So only if it's a 5-star review, only if it's a 4 and 5-star review, I want that to automatically paste up to Facebook. I want that to automatically post to LinkedIn, to Twitter or X. I want that to automatically go on my website. And you can even add pictures to it to give it that before and after wow aspect. So I can have a reviews page on my website where a lot of business owners are, 2 a.m, they're trying to edit the website and add new pictures, add new this right within the NiceJob platform. It's just, add a picture to that review before and after, done. And now it's automatically on the website. So taking all of those aspects of going from, if you're already managing your reviews well, let's give it a little bit more fuel to the fire to boost reputation, but now let's market that reputation. So all those reviews are visible in more places. To use the website just as an example, if someone's on a painter's website, they're probably wanting to get a painting job done. They probably didn't go to the website just because it's Saturday afternoon and I got nothing to do. Hey, let's just check out some local painter websites. You've got someone who has high intent already. Now it's what's the content on the website that I can deliver that's going to most likely motivate this person to say, this is the guy for me. I don't need to look anymore. So that way, instead of just your website being a stop on the train till they finally make a purchase somewhere else, let's get them to your website and then just say, this is everything that I needed. Oh my God, I love this before and after. Look at what Tom and Susie said in this review. That's the exact problem we have with the last painter. This guy sounds amazing. Let's just call and get it done with. Because nowadays people like to make fast decisions. We don't want to think about it forever. So let's make that decision faster and easier. One-stop shop at your website.
What are some of the stories that you've seen from clients once they've implemented this in terms of their reviews, their business? So one of the things that you said before we went live were what do you want to talk about? It's helping small businesses get bigger, right? So
yeah.
What are some of the turnarounds or stories that you've seen implementing this?
So I'll use one specific business for, I believe it was 17 or 18 years, had around 30 Google reviews. The business was always alive, but just, had its ups and downs with the seasons. It was tough. At one point, speaking with the business owner, mentioned that they even refinanced the house to kind of keep themselves afloat for a couple rough years. And they said, because I talked about reviews, they said, well, we already asked our customers for reviews. The issue was the customers were happy to do it. They just never actually did. 30 reviews in 17, 18 years is just not enough. So he kind of recognized the importance. And when I mentioned, we kind of went through the demo of the platform, let's get you up and running. And when he started doing it, instantly he was seeing more reviews were coming in. And in fact, it took about a month. We even went through and invited past customers, which is usually the first thing I recommend. Hey, if you've got a list of customers from the last 6 months that haven't left you a review yet, let's give you a fighting chance to get it. You've already earned it. Let's give you an opportunity to actually capitalize on it, though. And his review intake just skyrocketed. Started getting people calling him, and he would always ask people like, "Hey, how'd you hear about us?" And before, he would get some referrals here and there. He'd get somebody, "Oh, I saw your page in the Penny Saver, the local newspaper." He would do ads, Groupons, all those kind of things, but it never really got a return on the investment. It was just an investment. And I got enough work to cover the cost of the marketing, and then it died. So that's what was really frustrating him, is all the marketing was basically everything I shell out, I don't even really make a profit on it. I'm hoping that customer will then call me again or provide a referral to make it actually profitable. So then he started getting calls, and he said, wow, it was amazing that he was just really, really shocked that people will call him. Oh, I saw your Google review. Oh, you got really good reviews. Wow. One of my neighbors left you a review who I know. And I saw that left your review. And so I figured you're probably the person to call. And it just snowballed from there. And I talked to him about a year and 4 months later from when he first started with us. And he mentioned that he's like, this was by far the best business decision we've made, even though it was probably one of the smallest. Changing out your van and your equipment and all that stuff was bigger decisions financially. But he said that it was really shocking that small little change just skyrocketed his business online. Now he ranks number 3 in the area. There's some, huge franchises in the area, and he's ranking number 3 with them. And his business grew in about 12, 13 months by about 400%, the amount of customer volume that he was running.
Just all from like now word of mouth or organic traffic.
And he lowered his marketing costs at the same time. He had he was doing like $1,200 a month in marketing, and basically eliminated that, because why do I need to pay for the Penny Saver ad when the reviews are doing it for me?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. What's the most reviews you've seen on a painting company's website or Google?
Oh, goodness. Wow. I wish you would have warned me about this question. Now I'm not sure. Now I want to look it up and find the exact number. I know of one specifically that they had like 300 reviews when they started with us, and they've been in business for a number of years, I believe over a decade. And now they're over 650 and about a year of using us. So 15 years of reviews doubled in 12 months. First one that comes to mind. I'll have to get back to you now. It's going to bother me until I find the answer of the number one.
Yeah, it would be cool. I mean, you should have like a whole company-wide leaderboard on whichever like trades company of your whole clients have the most reviews. That would be cool.
I like that.
And some sort of like prize for first place. You have 20,000 reviews on Google. That'd be pretty incredible.
I know we've got one company that actually we had to but I don't think it was in painting. Painting a little bit different, because you're not going to paint 18 houses a day. When you're in like pest control or whatever, you can run through a whole bunch of houses a little bit different. But I think we had one that or something. They got over like 20,000 reviews, and it was like we had to just kind of start rewriting the code or something to be able to handle that many reviews, because it was unimaginable back in the day.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Now we've talked about kind of like getting Google reviews at the time of sale, automating the getting of the reviews, getting reviews from past clients. What else is like NiceJob able to help painters with, if anything else, just to kind of like complete our journey of the feature set?
Yeah. So we also talked about, adding reviews to your website. We also build websites. We put a conversion rate guarantee on those. So we guarantee you'll, compared to your current website, will increase the conversion rate, the percentage of customers that become leads by 10%, or you don't pay. So it's kind of a no-brainer in that aspect, because in your worst case scenario, you're not paying for your website. Obviously, you want to, because you want to get the conversion, and it's like 98.6% of them are above, and we just figure out what's the missing ingredient to get them above. So it's pretty much a shoe-in for those.
You'll increase another conversion rate of number of clients by 10%. So if they're at 10% convert, or if they're at 10% conversion, you'll get them to 11%. If they're at 20%.
Yeah, so adding one more percentage point on that, because 10% of the
okay, no, right on. Yeah, I mean, then the leads there would pay for itself. And what do you guys charge for a website and for just the standard NiceJob? Like, what's an average package look like?
Kind of depends on the package that you want. The reviews platform is going to be anywhere from 125 to 75. The website packages, I believe we're having a special right now where it's 199 to build the website and then 99 a month, and that covers changes and updates to the website that you need, minor things. Maybe you're having a spring cleaning
$200
special.
for
Get
the
your house.
website?
Yep,
That's crazy.
and
That's
probably
wild.
usually takes around 3 weeks to be ready to go for your preview to run through it and make sure it's up and running.
Yeah, for $200.
I'm guessing you've heard much higher price tags in your
Yeah,
journey on
yeah.
the podcast world.
I mean, what I see is like websites can be anywhere from like 3,000 to 10,000, depending on the agency. But I mean, if you guys have a system, obviously, that makes it really easy to build, then that's awesome that you can do that.
That's you kind of hit on one of the keys. It's about, we don't build websites for every industry. So when you're doing the same industry over and over again, and you're working with people, throughout the U.S. and Canada, but there are hundreds of them are painters. You learn by studying the data what works. So we're not going to jump into e-commerce or anything and just we'll just accept any website that you want and we'll just figure it out and charge you along the way. What we really try to do is hone in on, here is the specific type of website that we can build. And that way we can build it faster, more efficient, and we know what's going to work.
Awesome. That's really cool. And I guess on that, so you build their websites and then I guess you can just plug in the whole review automations right to that.
Yeah. All runs together. That way you got your reviews on your website, a lot of different widgets, so that way the reviews can be visible in different forms. Just make it attentive. One of the most popular ones is like a little pop-up, so every couple seconds it pops up, new review from John, clickable. You can add pictures to it and whatnot. That's what people are looking for. Like if you book a hotel, usually it's 3 people booked this hotel in the last 72 hours. They're trying to get that excitement going. So doing something
I had a
very
widget
similar
like that
with
on my
hotels.
website for a little bit. But it was just the widget. It wasn't the full system. It was just the widget, and every now and then it was like, a new review or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So one thing I like to do, Tanner, and I didn't warn you about this, and I do this for every guest who comes to the podcast to talk about their business, is that for the people who made it all the way to the end of the podcast, what can you do for them as a special thank you for listening all the way to the end?
We've got a special discount for them. But even before I mention that, like obviously it's great, our product works, et cetera, et cetera. The first thing I think I want to mention is take getting reviews and marketing them seriously. Whether you use our platform or not, if you're running a good business, you're doing a good job, you owe it to yourself, because that small little change is going to have a profound impact on the growth of your business. And most people, when you start a business, it's your baby, you want to see it grow. Maybe it's something you're going to hand down to the kids or something you're going to sell to enjoy the golden years with your family. But that small little difference of proactively managing and marketing your reviews could be the difference between I sold my business for this amount or for this amount. And my retirement's here or it's up here. Or I handed something to my kids that was on autopilot and they're set for life, or they got to struggle with it now to try to continue. So that would be the first thing, regardless of whether or not you use NiceJob, is really not the most important thing. The most important thing is small businesses drive the economy.
As you grow your business, and this is what I believe in, is that your role as the owner changes and your responsibilities grow and you have more and more things on your plate, and you need to piece off the different things that you're responsible for to either staff or software systems or not do them anymore. And I think if you look at review management, it's just a very small thing that could have a big impact if it's neglected or not. So I would say that if you do want to completely delegate this would be a really good way to do it, right? Because you do need to delegate everything eventually. And this is just a small sliver and a fairly affordable option to get that completely off your plate and taken care of.
100%. Actually spoke to a business owner not too long ago, and he said, like, for my business, we look at getting reviews just as important as we look at invoicing our customers. I could be doing tons of jobs, but if I never invoice my customer, my business is not going to grow because it just won't be getting the funds. I said, and so invoicing is what what pays for the job that we already did. Reviews is what pays for the next job to come in. So he's like, we have to look at it as that important, because otherwise there's a huge difference between not only how many jobs you get, but also the quality jobs that you get. If you're ranked number 1, number 2, number 3 on Google, when someone does a Google search, they're not expecting you to be the cheapest person. They're expecting you to be the best, and they're wanting to pay for that because they want the best. So it's not only that you're getting more jobs, but you're getting higher paying jobs. You're getting those customers who just, you're the best, you're the expert, and they're not just because there's some customers who are like calling everyone in the phone book saying who's a penny cheaper, and that's who I'm going with. And usually they're the biggest pains to deal with. So
those aren't the
get a
customers
higher
you want
level
anyway.
customer. Yeah, exactly. But if that's the only one, those are the only calls you're getting, then you got to take them. So it can completely change your business, this aspect, to be considered, this is the top ranked painter in town. He charges top dollar because he's worth it. Let's hire him.
100%. And that comes from your reputation.
Yeah. So you special deal, happily throw out 50% off for the first 2 months. Get you up and running. There's also a 2-week trial period, so that way you can test it. We don't have any long-term contracts in place. You know, from the founder, the idea is we want people to use us because it generally works. And every month you're like, take my money. I love it. Keep it going. My business is growing. And if it's not working, then we got to figure out why, or you're more than welcome to try something else, and we'll provide suggestions for you. You know, we just want to help. So let's make it as easy as possible.
For a couple $100 a month, if you get to that level, even if it gets you 2 reviews a month, it's worth it. So
yeah, you got to think about the long-term aspect of the business. There's no anything that's a get rich quick scheme is usually going to land you where you don't want to be. So, but if you've got, I'm taking care of my reputation, I'm letting it grow, then 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, the impact on the business is exponential.
Yeah.
But you got to get it started.
Got to invest in that now.
100%.
Awesome. So Tanner, leave us with a link where you can get that deal. We'll put it below the episode here. And dude, great having you, man.
It was awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. So
yeah,
I'll
and
pop
excited
that link in here.
And excited to have NiceJob be a sponsor at our mastermind coming up. We're going to be in Orlando at the start of April, and NiceJob has generously sponsored. So you guys are going to have some presence there and get to meet our crew.
Well, I wish I knew it was going to be in Orlando. I was actually born in Orlando, so I would have made sure I was the one who was showing up to that event.
We got a month to figure it out. So
yeah, I got to talk to Alistair about this.
yeah, Alistair, he's the one that's going to be there. But anyway, thank you, Tanner, for your time, and right on, man. Appreciate it. This is awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Painter Growth Podcast. If you want to grow your painting business, go to www.paintergrowth.com or click on the top link in the description. Talk soon.